Alright guys and girls, Neil from Neilcon's Recording. Welcome to today's video. Thanks for watching. Before we start, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. It's going to be good, so we might as well get that out of the way. Right, so today I'm going to be reviewing this action cam gimbal from Inkee. Inkee have kindly sent me this to review for you guys, so that's what I'm going to do. Now this gimbal has a name. It's called the Inkee Falcon, so it's got a cool name. That's a good start. No point in having a cool name if it doesn't work properly. So we're going to do a review on it. I'm going to see what it's all about. I'm going to show you how it works, and then you guys can make a decision whether you want one. And when you see the price at the end, I think some of you will want one. So inside the actual box itself, you get the gimbal. You don't get the GoPro, that's mine. You get the legs that attach to the bottom of the gimbal like such. And you also get a couple of Allen keys that I'll show you what you need those for in a minute. Now you might miss this if you don't know what you're looking for. So underneath the actual base of the box, you get this little bag, okay? This is a little velvet number, very nice. It's just a bag in it. It's always good to have something. I mean, that's not going to give you much protection, but it will stop it from getting scratches and that sort of thing. So this gimbal is designed for action cams. Now, being that most action cams are a similar size and weight, you shouldn't have any problems with this gimbal. The only problems that you may have is if you have one of the newer GoPros with the medium mods. That makes it a fair bit bigger, and I'm not sure if it will fit on this rig, but it might. You just need to speak to the people at Inkee, because I don't know. So speak to them if you've got any questions. I'm just saying, I'm not sure. You just attach your action cam to the gimbal like you would a GoPro. It's got like a GoPro mount. You got your GoPro connection, bosh, done. Nice and easy. So before we use this, we're going to want to balance it, okay? So the way you balance it, first of all, you've got a little one of those things that you use an Allen key for to adjust here. So you'll adjust that, and then you can move this left and right. So if it leans to the left or the right, then you balance it up by adjusting it on here. Then you'll just tighten it up with the Allen key, and then you're going to want to adjust it on this axis by using these two. What does an Allen key go into? Leave me the answer in the comments below. So you'll stick your Allen key in there, and then you'll adjust that up and down. And what you want to do is you want to get it so that whichever position you have the gimbal in, it just stays, it doesn't go anywhere, and then you'll know that it's balanced. There's only two axes to balance on this, so it's quite simple to do. Once you've balanced your gimbal, you're going to want to turn it on. You just do that by hitting, it looks like a record button to be fair, but it's not, it's the actual on button. You'll press that button, it'll make a little noise, and it'll power on. It powers on really quickly. Now to power the gimbal, you just charge it via this USB, and once it's charged, you've got 9 hours, so you're lucky to find an action cam that runs for 9 hours, but this runs for 9 hours. Can't argue with that, can you? Next to the red button that looks like a record button, there's actually the on button. You've got the M button, which is the mode button. So you've got PF, which will go left, right, but when you go up and down, it will stay in a vertical position. Okay, you've got HL, which follows you left, right, and then it will also follow you up, down. So it'll follow you wherever you go, basically. Left, right, up, down. Okay, and then you've got FPV, which just is similar to the last mode, but it's just really quick. Okay, so it's just a bit all over the place, this one. I can't see whether you really want to use that one, to be honest. With that one, you can't use the joystick mode either, so you've also got the joystick. The joystick moves up, down, left, right, obviously. Really intuitive, actually. Really smooth. Nice. Okay, so that's a joystick, and you can use that on PF mode or the HL mode, but you can't use it on the FPV mode. Oh, and I nearly forgot. If you tip it up so it's facing the camera, like so. If you double click the M button, you can shoot vertical. Okay, now you can't go that way or that way, but you can pan like this. So you can shoot nice vertical video for Instagram, stories, all that sort of thing. All stabilised on your gimbal. Now if you press the M button twice again, now you've got this inception mode. Now everyone goes on about this inception mode, but I have never seen inception, so I'm just guessing that this is part of the film thing. So I'm going to go along with it and call it the inception mode. It's not called the inception mode, where it just rotates. cool, you know. Again, just double click the M button to take you back to the original shoot mode. That's a cool little feature as well. You get some really cool rotating shots. So it's worth it just for that, I'd say. So if at any point you want it to return to its original position, you just double click this big button at the front. Bang, it will just return to where it started from. Another cool thing about this is if you want to use selfie mode, you just click that button 3 times, the button at the front. Boosh. Now you've got selfie mode. You can do your vlogs, etc. Take pictures of yourself, all of that. And then to turn it back round to the front, double click, bosh, back to where you begin. So, you know, really simple to use actually. There's no problems there at all. Really like all the functions that are going on there. It also comes with an app. So you download the app. The app's called Falcon, so the gimbal's got its own app. So open the Falcon app. It'll ask you to connect, so you just connect. It's just all done via Bluetooth, so you know how all that works. It's really simple to do. This works really well as well. I haven't had any issues connecting them at all. So once it's connected, you can change the modes on here. You can change the motor response, slow, middle or fast. You can change the joystick speed, slow, middle and fast again. Joystick direction, so you can change the way it's configured. You can collaborate the gimbal from here, but you can also control the gimbal from here as well. So, you know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? It really does sort of mimic what you're doing on the screen. So you can do all that from the app, and you can take pictures and all sorts from here. So yeah, you've got the little app you can use if you want to use that. You've also got these other buttons on the side, so you can connect the gimbal to your actual action cam via Wi-Fi, etc. And then you can change the modes, start recording, take pictures, time lapse, all that sort of thing, just using these buttons on the side of the gimbal. This is all well and good, Neil, I hear you say. Well, why would I need a gimbal for my GoPro if it's got hyper smooth stabilisation? So why would you want a gimbal if you've got stabilisation? Well, the way stabilisation works is, say you're shooting in 4K or 1080p, it will crop in on that by about 10% around the edges, so that every time you move, it's still within the screen. That's how stabilisation works. So you're actually losing a bit of the screen. It's a bit naughty. They don't tell you that they've nicked a bit of your screen by giving you stabilisation, but that's how it works. It's not a massive amount, about 10%, so it's not going to kill your resolution, but you are going to lose a little bit of resolution and field of view by turning the stabilisation on. Now with the gimbal, you can turn the stabilisation off and just use the gimbal, so you're still getting nice and smooth footage, but you're not losing any of the resolution. That's one reason that you should use a gimbal with an action cam. And there's a couple more reasons. You might want super smooth footage. You know, my GH5 has got inbuilt stabilisation, which is awesome, but I still use a gimbal with it because I want it to be super smooth. Same with the GoPro. Yes, it's got stabilisation, but with a gimbal, you can get nice smooth movements that you probably can't get if it's stuck on a selfie stick. Do you know what I mean? You can get smoother movements that you can't really get if it's sort of stuck to your head or your chest or whatever. So that's another reason that you might want to consider using a gimbal. Final reason, which is similar to that one, is just for a bit of creativity. You can take these legs off and then attach this gimbal to a monopod, have it real high in the air, and it will get shots a bit like a drone, sort of going through the trees. Just for a bit more creativity, really. I think they're all good arguments to get a gimbal. Now, if these gimbals were quite expensive, I would probably say the argument might not be so sound. But I've seen these going for around the sort of £80 mark in the UK and around $120 in the US. So that's great value, I think, for what you get. It's a really nicely made bit of kit. Like, the battery bit is plastic, but moving parts are all sort of metal, aluminium, so really nicely made. I love it. I think it's great. I'm going to be using it for sure. Also, you've got the stand, so if you're doing vlogs or whatever and you've got the selfie mode, you know, that's a really sturdy little setup. And then you can pop it round if you're interviewing someone else, blah blah blah. I'm just making up scenarios now, but I just think it's a really nice bit of kit, and for the price I'd say it's worth it. Anyway, that's it for the review. It's up to you if you get one, but I rate it. Thanks to Inkee for sending me this to review. Hope you guys have found it useful. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below, because it does help shoot me up the old YouTube algorithm, which means that I can make more videos like this, which hopefully you enjoy, and then Inkee can send me more stuff to review. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. Reviews like this, editing tutorials, useful stuff, so definitely worth subscribing, I'd say. Thanks again to Inkee for sending me the Falcon to review. I'll catch you in the next one.